Okay, so my name is Kaio Shimanski. I'm a Buddhist meditation teacher and yoga teacher, and I work with technologies applied to meditation, like measuring brain activity, working with some science in relation of traditional meditation practice. And here I am at City. I'm one of the teachers at the Meditation Artifacts Residence. Okay, so when I was a child, like 6-year-old, I'm a single son, and I have some non-ordinary states of consciousness, like altered states of consciousness. When I was lying down between my parents, and it was a not good experience. Like there's terror or and fear because I have a feeling that some energy are pulling me against the bad, and other forces or energetic forces trying to push me out of the bed. And I remember in the next day I become really sad or depressed, so it was a difficult and strange period of my life. And later I discovered that it was like a forceful out-of-body experience that can happen with children. A lot of types of spiritual effects or experience can happen with children, happens with me. And for me, this is the point that create this type of interest in me to study meditation, psychedelics, or altered states of consciousness. But before I entered into Hatha Yoga and Buddhism, I was an actor. So I'm an actor, I play a lot of instruments, musician too. So now in these days, everything are glued together. Yeah, okay, yeah. So basically in Buddhism, we have different types of techniques in meditation. Meditation is not just a one thing. There's a whole set of techniques, and one of them is called insight or wisdom. A traditional name is Vipassana. And with Vipassana, we learn how to deal with the arising of phenomena and we learn how to deal and follow how phenomena arising and how phenomena passes. So personally, I have a lot of hours in meditation practicing Vipassana to understand how the sensorial field behaves, how the sense of myself, of my ego, appears within those phenomena. And when we practice Vipassana meditation, it is a Buddhist type of practice, we learn how to not get too much attached to this impermanent phenomena. So for example, if I get anger with someone, now in these days, I feel the anger, but I have a realization within myself that this anger will arise, like this sound of the bird, and it will disappear soon. So I just have to open my awareness, create this sense of space, and see and watch without too much reaction those phenomena coming and going. So it's about movement, impermanence, and have a direct experience to know how phenomena appears and disappears in our actual experience. Okay, so I have a teacher and a friend of mine, American guy called Daniel Ingram. He's a famous Buddhist practitioner, teacher, and now he's really into science within Buddhism. And I received an email for the Meditation Artifacts Residence guys that Daniel, he said my name because the Meditation Artifacts people, they are searching for some teachers to come here to the residence and give some classes, events. And Daniel even support my trip, so it was a really good thing because I was not having any type of plans to travel, you know, but with support and my teacher believing me, you know, to be here, I was like, yeah, I have to go because it can be a really unique and good experience because it is my first travel outside Brazil. And what I hope, I think what I'm developing here, and it is really good, it's connection with the people and learning how to pass my teachings or the Dharma, the Buddhist teachings, using English, because I already have in the past some students, international students, but I don't, there's a low self-esteem about my English and my expressions using this other type of language. And now here I'm seeing that, you know, I can communicate, I can pass what I want to pass. There's some errors in my English, but no, I am seeing that no one cares because it's not just about language, right? It's about body, presence, energy. So it's been really, really great to rise my self-esteem, to return to Brazil and even work even more with international people. I think we Westerners and modern Westerners, we are lacking some type of spiritual connection with ourselves, with the planet, and I think there is this religion problem. Like a lot of us, we are not too much interested in take a religion and really practice everything that religion are pointing. So I think psychedelic can be alternative tool to break the limits of our perception, because we are programmed to think in some manners, to act in other manners, and this came from culture, this came from our parents. And you know, I'm not anti-culture or anti-parents, because our parents and our culture brings a lot of good stuff for us, but it brings a lot of awful stuff too. So I think psychedelics can be an alternative tool to break our standard perception about on what am I, what is this awareness, this consciousness that it is lucid now, knowing the sounds, the feelings in my body, the thoughts. And for me, psychedelics, it's like a first, it's almost like a gate, you know. For some, spiritual journey can happen without psychedelics, for sure. But for a lot of us Westerners, that psychedelics, they are the gates that can bring us into this type of journey. Some people stays more in the psychedelic scene. Some people even will go until the end with the psychedelics. Some people find psychedelics, starts to become interesting meditation or even other types of yoga. But I think we as modern people, we are lacking this type of connections, and maybe psychedelics can bring all those stuffs for us. Okay, interesting question. You know, I'm a technologist too, so I enjoy technologies, especially technologies that I can apply to the study and the practice of consciousness. And I have the opinion that this this marriage between ancestrality, like classical traditions, and modernity, with science, technologies, AI, this marriage already happened. I think it begins like in the 50s, 60s, or 70s. And what we need to do now, it's like, it's almost like entering into a therapy, like a relationship type of therapy, to learn how to deal with the other side. Traditional people needs to learn how to deal with the modern people, and the modern people needs to learn how to deal with traditional. Because sometimes we are like fighting, There is some people in the technology field that who thinks with just one app you will learn to meditate with just 2 weeks, and this is not true. But it is cool to have some apps for help some types of people who cannot be patient and learn in a classical manner. But I think for me, in my personal work, what we really need to have as a target is abolish suffering. So if we will have science, psychedelics, technologies, spiritual practice, those tools needs to be targeting suffering, because suffering is the constant of the universe. And we have a lot of suffering: physical suffering, emotional suffering, mental suffering, existential suffering. So I hope we as human beings I hope we not just stay at the intellectual level or aesthetic level, but we can really reach deeper and deeper works and inventions to deal with this constant of the universe, that is suffering. And not for ourselves as humans, but for all the beings in the planet, right? Yeah. Because in Buddhism, we call dukkha, and dukkha is suffering, or unsatisfactoriness, or stress, pain. And I'm really interested in learn and maybe help in several manners to someday abolish the suffering, and maybe we can join and enter into a more a more colorful world, joyful world, without because we are creating a lot of external technologies, but the internal technologies are the same. We have the same problems. We have jealousy, we have anger, the same problems. So we have to understand, how can I take these external technologies together with internal technologies, and again, target the suffering. It's all about suffering and abolish it. This is a good question. I think my personal take on this is, I think they are an extension of our minds. But this not limits the power of that experience, the power of meeting those type of entities. Because, for example, I am talking with you now, and I even don't know if you exist outside of my mind or if you are extension of my mind. Because for me, everybody are creating their own, I would not call brain model, but like mind model. I am seeing a type of green. You are seeing another type of green. It's not the same green. I am hearing the sounds, and you are hearing the same sounds, but you are hearing a different, completely manner. So I believe, as Buddhists, we have this tendency to say that everything comes from our own minds. But when we are saying this, it's not because it's garbage, because our minds, they are very, very, our minds is really, really, really powerful. I think it is the most powerful machine in the whole universe, because this universe is contained inside my mind. There's a lot of philosophical problems. There's even a term in science called naive realism. And naive realism is the belief that we are living in the same world, the same outside world. But there's a lot of types of reasoning, argument, that we are not living the same world at all. You are creating your own model of perception. I am creating my own model of perception. But again, When we reach those types of experience to talk with gods, aliens, deities, entities, this type of experience can be really, really powerful. And my answer is not a final, in a sense that I am open to learn about more, for example, with people from DMTX, extended DMT states, you know, that now on these days people can stay at the peak level of NN-DMT and they can talk now like for hours with those types of entities. And the experience, it's more realistic even than this experience that we are experiencing now. So there's a lot of room to new ideas to understand this topic that you are pointing. But now, because of my meditation, my studies within Buddhism, I think it is an extension of my mind. Because if I'm Buddhist and I take some psychedelics, probably I will see some Buddhist deities. But if my Catholic mom takes psychedelics, she will never take, I have completely sure, but maybe she will see definitely saints or Christ types of symbols. So it is an interesting thing, this collective unconscious, right? Like the Jung psychiatrist. Yeah. So I think we have here a lot of technology people, crypto guys, and venture capitalists, and all these areas, they take from us a lot of our mental energy, a lot of our the sense of well-being. So I think, as for example in Silicon Valley, those types of practice, they will have even double their presence, because people like those types of people that we find here, they need these types of approach to counterbalance, So I found here a lot of different types of interesting. A person who wants just to be calm with meditation, a psychonaut who wants to talk about entity encounters, and even people who wants to really take meditation seriously to reach what we call liberation from the scripts, from the personality, So I think it's a necessity. Those types of events have to always bring these types of approach to counterbalance, because it can be really, we can become really tired to just talk about investors or crypto or money or capitalism. So it's really good to have meditation artifacts residents, the Psychedelic guys, to again counterbalance, to offer other types of practices and views to make people more, I don't like this word, but this word comfortable, But yeah, it's a good word. Cool. Okay. Hardcore meditation can definitely, I will not say that it will release DMT, like in a compound sense, but I myself, with hardcore types of practice and with other students, we can definitely reach types of consciousness that we find using psychedelics. But Breathwork, it's a good, definitely Breathwork. I think it's the main practice to release DMT or other types of compounds inside ourselves. I have a flotation tank in Brazil. Yeah, so isolating our senses, it can be really beneficial to enter inside of ourselves. And there's a new, it is not new, It is an ancestral, but we call dark retreat. And dark retreat, it comes from Tibetans, and you stay inside a house or a cave without from some days. Wow. And there's no light, not any bit of light, and again, just be in the dark without using anything, like maybe just chanting or visualizing, meditating. A lot of things can happen inside this darker scenario. So we don't have to just take psychedelics to enter into non-ordinary states of consciousness. There's a lot of tools, and I think we will even discover new ones. Yeah.
Beautiful. And that's it.
Yeah.
Really wonderful.
Yeah, thanks.